Hello everyone, I'm Runispism, and welcome to Let's Play Metal Slug 3. Metal Slug 3 is a run-and-gun game from the old arcade days. I really do like run-and-gun games. I mean, I like anything where dodging is kind of the point, but Metal Slug 3 is probably one of my favorites just because it looks so nice. Like, the entire game has such a cool aesthetic to it, and the last level is one of my favorites in all of these kinds of games. I also like Metal Slug, not Metal, God, I almost said I also like Metal Slug. I also like Mega Man a fair bit as well, but Metal Slug 3 is probably the slightly more obscure of the two, so let's show that one off instead. The deadline for the video is approaching fairly quickly, and I need something that like I've played a million times that I can show off in just one sitting. So I've kind of gone for this, which is maybe a little bit less obscure than the other stuff I've been showing off recently, but oh well. There's no huge difference between the characters here, I just like to play as Marco. Actually, I don't believe they're different at all. Anyway, so, Metal Slug 3. The basic idea is that we're a good guy with a gun, and there's a whole bunch of bad guys with guns, but also, like, aliens and zombies and stuff. It's weird. This game does have lore to it, and especially if you, like, played the mobile game or something, you'd get a heaping helping of that, and I do know a little bit of it. But for Metal Slug 3 in particular, it is not even remotely important. All you need to know is that there are bad guys with guns, and for some reason they're allies with these weirdos, so we're gonna shoot them. The nice thing about Super Grenade here is, see how the explosion goes really high up like that? If I time my shots well, I can kill the crabs and the flies at the same time. Or in that case, I can free a hostage of war and kill a fly at the same time, somehow leaving the poor man intact. There's plenty of alternate paths in this game, like I could go up here, but I won't. I'm kind of planning on doing this in one sitting, so I'm just going to take all the paths I'm most familiar with, the kind of quicker and easier ones. Well, quicker and simpler, I guess, the ones I've practiced more. God, the sprite work in this game is just great sometimes, isn't it? See, I'm not really here to show off all the extra paths and all the secrets and whatnot, because I don't actually know all of the extra paths and secrets that well. I'm mainly just here to, like, do a smooth run of the game. What I do know very well, what I have done literally 100 times, is zip through this game in about half an hour and not die too much, so that's kind of what we're in store for today. Oh, I'm out of special weapon. I need to throw a couple of bombs here. There we go. So, you start each level with a dinky little pistol and 10 grenades. The grenades are ludicrously powerful, but it's honestly better to use them for their strange attack angle than it is for the extra damage. Although, of course, you'll find more bombs on the way as well. So I've ended up with 20, even though I used a fair few. Save them for the boss, I guess. And you pick up special weapons along the way with limited ammo. For a casual player of this game, one of the bigger problems is that you lose all this stuff every time you die. You respawn in with just the pistol and the 10 grenades again. But if you're very good at the game, then you can kind of chain the special weapons into each other, where just as you run out of ammo for one, you'll be picking up another. And being better at the game kind of makes it easier in that regard, which is a very old arcade thing. It's like getting good at Gradius as well. The better you are at Gradius, the easier the game is, perversely enough. So, more so than the other games I've played, like, obviously I love every game I've played on YouTube, that's why I'm showing them off. But more so than even the other ones I've shown off, if you want to play Metal Slug 3 yourself, I strongly recommend it. Both to gain a further appreciation for what this game looks like for a more casual player, because it really is very different compared to what I'm doing. But also to see some of the alternate paths and maybe try to find some of the secrets that I don't know about. I've already skipped over a few of them. There are quite a lot of weird background elements that you can shoot at to get, like, I don't know, a coin or something. It's not like they're important secrets, it's just for extra points. The start of this level is unfortunately kind of boring. Ugh, goodness. You don't get a special weapon for quite a while, you're stuck with the dinky pistol for about a full minute or two. So I'm just going to show off the safe strats for getting rid of these guys. It involves a lot of neutral jump, pull backwards. That way you get to keep facing left, and your jumping speed is actually a little bit faster than your running speed. So it's also a faster way to get out of their range too. You can also just get right up in their face. Like for this guy, his attack range is just a little bit too high to get you if you're ducking and knifing him. But that's scary. We don't want to do that too much. Man, look at my little buddy there rocking out. Oh, he fired his Uzi. He actually tried to help. Normally this guy's pretty worthless. Shooting the red helicopter there just takes them all out. Follow their leader, I guess. And then if I can just take out another helicopter fairly quickly. These ones have special weapons for me. Ooh, but it's quite annoying, isn't it? Getting attacked from multiple angles. There we go. There's another alternate path back here, but it's quite the detour. It takes a long time. It's not even that difficult from what I recall, but it's just introducing more chances to die when I could just move on. I believe it takes like 2 or 3 minutes to go through that entire area, and then it dumps you out about here-ish for an idea of just how much of a detour it is. Again, the slight angle here means the grenades will get me not just a lot more damage, but also I can actually hit them from a little bit further away because they arc downwards. Okay. It is traditional to fight this boss while a zombie. Wait. Ha! I picked up the healing as he got me. Alright, come on. Actually turn me into a zombie this time, buddy. There we go. This boss does go by a little bit smoother if you're a zombie, and also it's kind of fun to show off the mechanics a little bit more after I went through the entire level perfectly. When you're a zombie, your grenades are replaced with this big ol' move that I'm about to do to these guys. Which just takes out 3 of them pretty cleanly. And then I can quickly hop over to this and take the rest of them out with regular grenades. There we go. And then the second phase of the boss is much easier. Messing up the quick kill on those aliens is a good way to suddenly introduce a lot of spice into level 2 that you really don't need. I showed off their attack pattern a little bit, but there's actually a few different ways that they can shoot the bullets at you. They're all just aimed directly at you, but some of them get slightly tricky with the weird delayed timing that they can go for. And here's the strategy for this boss here. Oh, but I messed it up a little bit. Nah, that'll be fine. Shooting the tablets makes them fall a little faster. If you get high enough up, you can actually start throwing grenades, but I'm already out. Finally, this guy here will give me another special weapon, and then I should be able to finish it off pretty quickly. Yep. Like I said, I've been through this game 100 times. I know all these boss fights like the back of my hand. Mission complete. And to harp on more about how you should play this as well, even though I'm going to show off all the quick kills in the interest of trying to die as few times as possible, I find that with a game that requires this level of precision, even if you've seen someone go through it once fairly well, Mission 3. Just trying to recreate the stuff I'm doing here off of vague memory, it'll add direction to the playthrough without being too easy, because I'm sure you won't get it perfectly right on the first try. Actually, not speaking about Metal Slug 3 in particular, because I kind of learned this game on my own. But I do find that it's kind of fun to do that with other games. Like, I'll watch a single speedrun and I'll go, oh, yeah, I can probably do something like that. And then, of course, I can't, because they've played the game 1,000 times and I have not. Oh, right, I'm supposed to destroy this one, not just stand here doing nothing. I ran out of ammo because of that, although luckily there's another weapon here. But yeah, like... Oh yeah, I watched the Super Punch-Out run. And then I went, oh man, look at all those cool quick fights you can do to those guys. Let me try a few of them. And after practicing them a few dozen times, I managed to get the first couple of them correctly, and then just kind of went through the rest of the game normally. A good excuse to play Super Punch-Out again, I guess. Anyway, it's this one that I want to just stall for a bit. Just shoot these, dodge these, shoot these, and then let's go. You can destroy that one as well for an alternate path, but this one is a fair bit safer. Although it's still got some mean tricks to it. This one isn't quite just as much of a triviality as some of the other paths I've been taking. Well, none of the paths in this game are actually easy, but... whatever, I knew what I meant. With these shielded guys, you can kind of just lob grenades over them. And your grenades are not so precious that you need to save every single one, so it's a decent use of them. Get over those sandbags as well, instead of trying to shoot through them. This tank's gotta die quickly. I don't want to fight while surrounded with also that giant tank shooting at me. Here's an animal friend that'll help us cross these giant gaps. And also spray a whole bunch of machine gun bullets at these guys. Oh, I trampled that one. Brutal. Grenade over the shield, jump the shot. Gotta remember every part of this game. Don't let that guy knife you. Or that guy, or this guy. Actually, let's get off the ostrich. It's kind of hard to stop myself from getting knifed when I'm a sitting duck like that. There we go. You can't take the ostrich past this point anyway. And it puts you right out of the boss. The other alternate path is a lot longer than that. It's not quite as hectic, but there's still more chances to die, even though it's a little bit slower, just because it's so much longer. Hopefully one of these missiles will drop a second weapon for me. No. Alright, pistol it is. Nope. Whenever he reaches his arm up to his head like that, you gotta get ready. And whenever he takes a missile out of his chest, that's your chance to jump on it and throw some grenades. With a dinky little pistol, I actually want to stand out here to kind of confuse the missiles into... oh, not quite. Oh well. I managed to do a lot of the game without dying. Let's try and show it off a little better here. So you stand around here, so the missiles, like, flip around in front of you. Yeah, and then they either hit the ground or you shoot them. I don't have any grenades left. Oh, that's far right. Okay, but I managed to get even further right. He can't run you over, I think. I do try to avoid it, but in a situation like that, I think I let him brush up on me. There we go. He's pretty close to dead. I think this will help me finish him off. Oh, he's just... he reached for his head like 3 times in a row there. And I get no recaptured prisoner because I died while carrying all of them. Mission complete. Ah, well. We're not exactly going for a high score here. Alright, Mission 4 is a lot more difficult than Missions 1 through 3. When I'm playing this game off camera, it's Mission 4 where I'll start to accept deaths instead of just resetting if they happen. This camel, like the ostrich, does not actually keep me safe. It is unarmored. So I've got to actually make sure that these bullets do not touch poor Marco here while I'm also lugging him around on a giant camel. Unlike with the ostrich though, it's actually worth it to keep the camel because I need the extra firepower. As you can see, the camel's perfectly fine, it's just Marco that I need to keep safe. So that rifle guy in the middle of the screen, he's an important guy to keep track of even while I'm trying to aim at the helicopters. But we're good now. Alright, here's a fun secret that I do remember and actually like to show off even in my normal runs here. If you bother to shoot these sandbags for no reason, there's a guy in them. And this guy, he knows the Satsui no Hado or something, because he can just shoot energy out of his hands. It deals literally 1 damage. Oh no! Ah, I knew that jump was bad. That was bad. Oh well. Ah, and he's run away. What a shame. At least you got to see him a few times. Yeah, what you're supposed to do against these guys on the back is just run them over in the camel. Even just touching the camel's feet for a couple of seconds will get him. There's no need to hit him with the gun. Alright, here's the real fight here. I want to throw grenades forward every now and again to take out the tanks in front of me, and then the tanks behind me have to get shot with the machine gun, which takes a fair bit longer. But I can do that. Oops! I hit the jump and the attack button at the same time, so my poor camel ran away. Now I gotta do the entire thing with the pistol. Luckily I already took out all the tanks. Oopsie! Ah, well. There we go. I'll use as many coins as it takes. Hopefully it doesn't take more than like 3 or so. It's a shame too, that was the end of the desert section. The desert section is probably the hardest part of level 4. You can go inside or you can go up. I forget what's even inside. Level 4 is definitely, like, by the time I get here, all the alternate paths are a bit of a blur to me. There is one easy way through level 4, and the rest of them are nightmares. Anyway, these guys here, I'm sure I'll show off their attack. Actually, that guy. Yeah, there you go. If you stand in front of them for too long, they'll try to bite at you. So I'm kind of just trying to stay out of that range the entire time as I fight them. That one was about to do it, but I knew that my firepower would be enough to take him out before he had a chance. Oop. Yeah, and those guys as well. Don't want to stand in front of them too long. These little spores here do actually hurt you, so you gotta shoot them all before you move on. I wonder if these sandbags also have a trick in them. They seem to be kind of worthless. It's not like they're protecting anything. Actually, I'll shoot them after I'm done here. Will there be time after I'm done? I'm not sure. Ooh. I threw a grenade at that guy right as he dived for me. Oh yeah, the boss of this level can't actually be hit by your spare grenades, so I'll need to throw away as many of them as I can on this part here. It may seem like a bit of a waste, but there's no other chance to use them. I believe this is the last section where they're going to be even remotely useful here. Oop. Ah, damn, I thought I could throw a grenade at that guy just in time, but I couldn't. And dying gives me 10 more grenades. Come on, get over here! Ah, it's a little sloppy. I would have hoped to have beaten the entire game with just 4 deaths. And we're not quite there yet. But whatever, we're not trying to do my best ever, we're just trying to show it off for YouTube. This is the most annoying attack this guy has, so I like the fact that he's showing it off first. Basically, I just try to get as far away from the jewel as I can to, keep myself, give myself more time to react. That purple thing is his easiest attack, but it means you don't have a chance to hit him. Oh boy, not again. Ooh, ah, not quite. Crouching really reduces the size of your hitbox, but it also makes you way slower. I was hoping that I would have just barely enough time to duck under that bullet, but I just barely didn't. If you're a pro speedrunner, you can just jump over these wolves instead of jumping away from them, and that way you can stay underneath the boss for longer, but I'm not a pro speedrunner. Oh, the red one. That's a little easier to dodge, because it's aimed right at you. Nice and easy. Yeah, like here, if I really wanted to rack up the laser gun hits, I would just jump in place instead of jumping away. Whoops! Oh, almost like that, I guess. When the boss is red, all of his attacks get a fair bit faster. The red one isn't too much harder to dodge while it's fast. In fact, it's honestly a little easier, but the orange one is a nightmare during the second half of the boss fight. Hopefully he goes for at least one orange attack so I can show off what it looks like when I try to dodge it. No, not another red one, you. You gotta be careful at diagonal angles with the red one. That jump there was to make sure that it didn't, hit me in the head as I tried to run under it. I just went over it instead. Ah, that's a shame. You didn't show off a fast orange one. Well, even just the slow orange ones were hard enough already. I'm sure you got a feel for them from that. Mission complete. So what, we've used one full coin and then most of a second coin to get here? That's not too bad. Well, Yeah, I try to do better than that, but it's within acceptable parameters.
Mission 5. Start.
So this is the final mission of the game. A fun trick I like to play on people when I'm showing this game off in person is have them guess when they think the game will end. Because that's not a lie, this is the final mission, but for you guys, I mean, don't look now, but if you already looked, you would have seen how long the video is, right? And you might be a little bit confused. Or even just from what I'm saying, I'm sure you expect it a little bit. But maybe you don't expect it to quite the extent that it's going to happen. Anyway, off we go into the final mission. This first section here almost feels like a scrolling shooter. You know, that kind of game that I love. Although moving up and down wiggles your gun around a little bit, which is like a blessing and a curse. It makes precision aiming a little bit, well, actually no, yeah, more difficult in some areas and more easy in others. I specifically choose the plane instead of the helicopter because the plane can only aim this far up and this far down, but the helicopter can aim in all 360 degrees. Which sounds like it's just better, right? Like more angles is more better, but no, I prefer it if it's just always facing forwards. It's easier to keep things in front of me than it is to try and wrangle a gun that can go in literally any direction. Maybe I should throw away some of my missiles, considering I'm about to lose the plane if I take just one more hit. There is a spot where you get an extra vehicle if you've lost your first one, and I will try to remember where that is, because I want to intentionally lose the plane for a fresh one. Actually, no, there's a pretty obvious... I remember where it is. Yeah. You don't play this game 100 times without remembering roughly where it is. Oh god, I picked up 10 missiles somewhere? How am I going to use all these before it's time to cycle vehicles? Just need to start throwing them away on nothing. Oh wait, no, it's here. Alright, get me out. Wait, hit me. Oh, I could have actually just jumped out myself, I suppose, but... Let me just put a missile underneath that guy instead of actually trying to fight through the shield. Alright, so... Here's a big plane from an earlier Metal Slug game. Oh, and if you're really good at dodging, you can get around these stupid bouncing bombs. Please stop using them and use an attack that's easier to counter. Oh my god, he's doing 4 in a row. He's only supposed to do like 1 or 2... 5! This is not what a fight against this guy is supposed to look like. There we go, finally. Okay, so just sit here, like here-ish, get the gun on him, and start dropping bombs. Look at how worthless his other attacks are compared to the bouncing bombs. Oh, goodness! Alright, so this guy requires some juking. Oh, he's gone. Well, I'm sure he'll be back at some point. Ah, the bombs again. Whoa, where'd that missile go? Oh, I don't want to be too close here. There we go. There's no contact damage or anything, but if you're above the helicopter, then it's kind of weird. Alright, you back out? You back out. This guy requires a fair bit of juking with the grenades he throws. Just so long as you're aware of the timing and the angles that he can throw them at, you should be fine, but it takes a little bit of doing before you get the muscle memory for it. If you go too high up the screen, he'll start firing the gun at you, which is also a little bit trickier to dodge. There he goes, not too bad. Well, I say not too bad. The helicopter only took 1 hit. And I don't even get to use it after that, so the other 2 hits are just for bragging rights. There's a lot of guys here, so you do need to stop and make sure they're all dead before you run into bullets. Alright, there we go. Didn't die at... Oh! Speaking a little too early. Okay, did not die an embarrassing death to the weenies. And then here's another giant helicopter. Luckily I have an anti-aircraft gun. I want to keep the gun aimed at this exact angle, kind of towards his face and bazooka. That way if he fires a bazooka shot at me, it'll hit the bullets coming out of my anti-air gun instead of hitting me. Although with this attack here, I do need to kind of whip around a little bit. When he pulls out the minigun, you need to watch the ground and jump. Get a couple more sneaky shots in, and back to the anti-air gun. When he's at this kind of angle, it's difficult to tell where I should... Oop, okay. If you do a bad enough job on the missiles, you should probably jump out and make sure you fully dodge them before you... Yeah? Yeah, okay, there we go. Trying to get me with the bazooka. There we go. So yeah, there's no dodging involved per se. Well, except in situations like this. But it's still important to be paying attention to every little thing the boss is doing. And precision aiming will help you get more damage in quicker, instead of having to jump out to avoid the missiles all the time. And then it is revealed that the enemy leader was actually an alien. Which maybe makes a little bit more sense if you played Metal Slug 2, but it still doesn't make a lot of sense. There's the real enemy leader up there getting humiliated. Is really the only word for it. Anyway, so the reason that I like to play as Marco is because Marco gets kidnapped and then I get to play as my actual favorite character, Theo. It works out that you play half the game as Marco and half the game as Theo, roughly, to just give away a little bit of what I was talking about earlier. Anyway, just like all arcade games, the aliens are the bad guys. There's no such thing as a good alien in an arcade game, I'm afraid. It was a very, discriminatory time period for video games. So we gotta chase him down and shoot him, and also rescue our buddy. Oh goodness, I've already taken a hit. How embarrassing. So one neat thing about this, actually there's a lot of neat things about this section, I guess. The spooky music, the cool spaceship that I'm flying around in. It's a whole bunch of stuff. It's like another scrolling shooter section. The jump button obviously does not do anything jumping in this section. Ooh, a heal. Don't mind if I do. Oh my god, and then I lose it immediately. When you hold the jump button, it does this instead. See all my thrusters going off at once? It makes you a little bit faster, which can be useful in more dodge-heavy sections like this. Oop, that red asteroid probably had a powerful weapon inside it, and I failed to destroy it. You're gonna have to do better than that, aliens. I do stuff like this every day. Dodging bullets is like breathing. Oh, another heal. Yeah, that's pretty generous if you're taking hits. Just so long as you don't actually lose the spaceship. You don't lie. You don't die if you lose the spaceship. Theo does have a little, like, spacesuit that she can fly around in and shoot her pistol from. But let's just say that it's gonna get a lot harder if you lose it. Have we even picked up one shotgun yet? I think this spaceship might be the first thing that we've had that's gotten a shotgun. The shotgun is a ludicrously powerful weapon, so I'm trying not to use too much of it. Like, just really precisely use those 2 shots to kill those guys. It's helpful if I can save some of it for the mini-boss that's coming up. I believe it's now? Yeah, look at all those damaged spaceships from the bad guys. They'd have no idea how to fight these guys like we do. Oh, whoops, I accidentally picked up a rocket launcher. Never mind. It would have been nice to get those last 8 shotgun blasts where they counted, but oh well. These first couple of spaceships aren't too much of a problem. They just have a lot of health. The little guys that they keep spawning are the only things that can actually damage you, and they sometimes have special weapons, although those ones just had dolls, I guess. Still, it's a good idea to kill them to reduce the amount of bullets on screen and to sometimes get a special weapon if you're lucky. Here's another one. 2, 3. I can't believe I dodged the special weapons so effectively like that. I actually ran out of heavy machine gun while dodging 4 of them. Well, I wasn't dodging them on purpose, you know what I mean. Here's the big mothership. Another enemy that looks impressive enough that maybe it could be a final boss. No, you don't. This laser tracks you around until it fires, then it has to stop in place. So as long as you're moving quickly when it actually shoots, it'll miss you, and then it'll stop. Oops. Oh my god, I hit both buttons at once. Oh boy, ain't that the way it goes. How many vehicles have I accidentally suicided today? Well, luckily I managed to keep the spaceship for most of this section, but I'll have to play this next one pretty well if I want to keep the amount of deaths to 1. I really don't like the way that this game has a vehicle, like throw away your vehicle button on jump and shoot. Like if it was like jump and grenade at the same time or something, it would be a little bit more tricky to accidentally hit that. But oh well. Just a tiny blemish on an otherwise fantastic game. And this way I get to show off what it looks like when you don't have the spaceship, I guess. It's harder. You're not allowed to get hit and your gun isn't as powerful. These UFOs here are probably the most dangerous thing in the entire level. Because they'll just be sitting there for a second and then they'll flash and you have half a second to get out of the way of the laser beam. You gotta be real careful with these things. You want to kind of try to shoot the outer lip of them instead of like staying directly underneath them. Just because that way, when you're trying to react to the laser beam, you don't have to move quite as far to get out of the way. The laser beam is so much more powerful than the heavy machine gun. I'll try to dodge it until I'm out of laser bullets. Okay, never mind, it's gone. Hopefully another special weapon comes by pretty quickly. Ah, yeah, there you go. Let's not be greedy with this one. Enemy chase is kind of nice anyway. It does a fair bit of damage and it homes in. Once again, I'm not quite playing a Danmaku game, but I still get to show off how good I am at dodging stuff. The Danmaku in this game is not too particularly dense. But poor Theo, her entire body is a hitbox. It's not like a real Danmaku game where I only need to dodge around with the jetpack or something. Even if her little toes get hit by it, then that's a death. I'm trying not to use too many grenades here. Actually, 5's already pretty low. Let me just mash the pistol a little harder instead. Can I get a special weapon, please? I really don't want to use any more bombs. Or if I die, I'll get 10 bombs back, and maybe that'll just be the end of it. Ah, here we go. 5 bombs really is quite low for what I'm planning later. I'm gonna have to play a little differently in the next section, I think. Oh, sorry. I thought there was another big thing coming up. Oh goodness, that was close. I thought I could travel a little higher up the screen than that. Yeah, here we go. This is what I was trying to pre-fire at. Okay, I'll use 1 bomb against that stack of guys just to make it go by a million times quicker. But now 4 bombs is really... oh boy, cutting it close. God, I think I would prefer 6 or 7. I'm gonna have to... okay, well, whatever. I'll talk about it when it comes up. Let's just say that I'm not allowed to use another bomb for a little while. Ooh, flame shot. Don't mind if I do, friend. These guys have pistols that kind of home in on you a little bit, but if you just juke them around like a couple of steps, they generally lose track of you. Also, if they fire them like straight up like that, it takes them a while to even figure out where you are. Oop. Oh, I didn't quite get it. Oh, what a shame. Hopefully there's another special weapon coming up. Do you drop one as well, buddy? No, you do not. Oh boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn around. Protect myself. Okay, then run away. This is where I really wanted those bombs. I need to get through that door faster than this. Although this strategy seems to work okay as well, if it's just a little slower. There we go, let's go in. Okay, well I'm in and I have 0 bombs left, just as planned. So yeah, the homing pistol shots, as well as being jukeable, you can also turn around and just stab them if you have a good presence of mind. Anyway, here's this idiot. Don't make deals with aliens! How many times does this have to go badly before you learn? All these things have goodies in them, I think. What do you have again? Oh wow, a radish. I guess if they had guns in them, I would probably remember them. Or maybe a couple of them do, I'm not sure. Anyway, these guys just try to run at you, turn orange, and then explode. You can either stab them, which is generally the preferred method of getting rid of them, or you can try to jump to avoid the explosion, which is what I do sometimes instead if I'm feeling fancy. This guy here isn't too bad, just stand exactly where I am and the shots bounce over you. The next one of these giant walker things is going to be a little bit more annoying. I'm just making sure to kill the little guys as well, so they don't get me while I'm trapped underneath the shots. Speaking of don't get trapped underneath the shots, it's important to have good timing when you actually land the killing blow on this guy, because it can crush you like that. If you're underneath the green bullets when its body falls down, then you're going to just be stuck and basically checkmated. Ah, I missed that guy with a knife. Oh well, now I've got a couple of grenades to help this guy out with. Oh, well, too bad. Ah, damn it. I'm getting sloppy. Wait, the announcer didn't yell out the name of the weapon. Whatever, I've got a mobile satellite now, and the announcer's supposed to say mobile satellite because he doesn't actually know how to pronounce it. But instead, now I just look like a crazy man. Talking about something that didn't even happen. Right about now is when you fall over? Yeah. Good thing I waited. Now this one, even though it looks exactly the same, only fires one. But the one has a completely random trajectory. You see that that one was fast. Oh, and that one's barely going at all. That makes this guy super annoying to deal with. And he moves around a lot too. So you have to be super careful. Oh goodness, that one would have got me if I didn't run forward. Oh no! Ah, I thought that one might have been a slow one, but it was a fast one. Alright, on to our 4th coin. You don't want to progress too far forward with like a million of these on your tail. The more damage you do to that door, the faster it falls down. So I just throw a couple of grenades at it to make it go by quickly instead of having to deal with the walkers. Anyways, here's the big boss of the aliens. This giant brain in a capsule thing. He only has one attack, but boy is it effective if you don't see it coming. And then he does a bigger version of it here that you really need to like lure around to get around it. I think I'll put this one in the middle, and then the next one can go left. Anyway, the boss music is playing, and we are actually fighting the real leader of the aliens here, so why does the video still have a little bit of time? Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. But still, though, this is definitely a fun moment to start bringing up the old, hey friend that I'm showing this game off to. Do you think this one's the final boss? We've gone through a few bosses by now. You think this one's the last one? No? Alright. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the last one, does it? These guys have powerful weapons that you can't really dodge on this final destination ass. Oop. Actually, wait, no, maybe these guys only have the pistol. Still, you've got a powerful weapon, you want to just blow right through them. It's even harder to dodge this guy's annoying attacks while you're in a metal slug. Although I managed to do a decent job of it there. And trying to... Oops. Oh my god, are you kidding me? The 3rd time that's happened? It's kind of a shame. Showing off how to dodge these guys' attacks in a metal slug is actually kind of interesting, but I guess I can just say it when it comes up. Because this guy would have just died to the main cannon. It's not like he actually would have had a chance to hit me if I was in the metal slug. It's been a while since I've actually bothered to do this part without the Metal Slug. It's this guy that would have been the first major problem, because you can't hit him with the main cannon. You can't turn the tank around. The thing that makes these guys super annoying when you're inside the Metal Slug is these vertical rings that you have to jump through instead of the horizontal ones that you can kind of try to jump over instead. I'll keep the shotgun, thanks. The vertical ones, when you try to jump through them in the tank is actually so tall that it touches the top of the ring. So you have to either jump super early or jump super late to try and be like as low down as possible when you pass through the ring. It's kind of annoying to get the timing right, and I have to describe it instead of actually doing it, because again, I accidentally hit the freaking throw the tank away button. Ah well. Again, these guys, their main weakness is their slow reaction time. You just need to shoot them before they figure out to throw their gun at, or throw their gun, to fire their gun at you. It's our buddy! We gotta rescue him! So this part of the game, I'm not really sure what the fast and effective strategy for it is, but I do know a slightly... I do know a slightly slower and effective strategy. So that's what happens if you're not careful. We've shown it off once, let's not show it off again. You need to pay attention to which of these guys has landed and is kind of looking at you, because they have to look at you for a second before they're allowed to fire their weapon. Once you have a heavy machine gun like this, it is fairly easy... Oop, oh, thank God that guy went for the knife and not like a gun. I tried to turn around and shoot him, but I messed it up a little. Anyway, so the priority here is, you do need to eventually rescue your buddy, but more than that, you need to shoot these guys before they shoot you. And if you get low on heavy machine gun bullets, you need to kind of run around and collect them as well, because you can see that they disappear quite quickly. So there's a lot of different things... Woohoo! There's a lot of different things going on in this fight at once. I'm not really racking up damage on the clone pod very quickly, but I am keeping myself quite safe, which is a lot better. It is kind of annoying that the clone pod has so much health, and the only strategy that I really know that keeps you safe is a bit of a slower one. I should maybe re-watch how the speedrun does this. Actually, is the speedrun allowed to die? Because I bet just accepting the deaths is faster than this. Oop. No, no, no. Ah, I thought I was just barely far enough away from that back one. I was trying to kill the front ones a little quicker. I'll admit that I'm... Or actually, no, this is less of an admission and more of an excuse, isn't it? But my excuse is that I'm trying to be a little bit quicker for the camera, and it's really doing a number on how safe I can be. Like, normally... Actually, okay, fine. I'll put my money where my mouth is. This is where I would normally be standing. I would normally never leave this location except to pick up safe machine guns. Hopefully the guys on top start dropping them so I can just jump to get them instead. But yeah, this is kind of what I was trying to spare you from. This, like, stay in the far back corner and be as safe as possible strategy. But after those 3 deaths, it's pretty clear that this is how I gotta do it. I do need to pick up some machine guns pretty quickly, though. There we go. Actually ran out for a second there. There we go. See, it takes a while, but we're done. I'm sure extracting him from the cloning tube will have no adverse effects on the rest of them. Oh dear, it did. So remember that cool attack I showed off against the second boss, where your grenade gets replaced with this giant red laser beam that gets shot out of the mouth? These zombie clones have access to that, so you need to take cover. It isn't too difficult right now, because there's this nice obvious thing in the way of us, and he's getting at me pretty slowly. It'll get a little bit more complicated as we go. Look at this dance I can do on these guys. That's an important dance to keep in mind for the back half of this level. What I'm doing is I'm mashing the knife button while holding crouch and turning direction quickly. It is the dance of death. It allows you to knife with a way lower cooldown than the knife normally has. It deals comparable damage to most special weapons, in fact maybe a little bit better, and it's certainly a lot better than the pistol. Oh, he's firing left, so I'll stay here. Oh, vehicle. Don't mind if I do. Taking extra care to let go of the fire button for a split second when I jump instead of accidentally blowing this one up as well. This thing's bombs, they run a bit to the left and then they explode. So you can use them to take out the zombies while you're trying to shoot the door like this. It also has a duck that looks kind of weird. Like when I do this, it does that. I'm not sure if the duck actually makes your hitbox any lower, but I like to do it when the laser's coming in, just in case it does. Okay, maybe now I can actually throw away the vehicle to get damage, and just go into this one. This vehicle has kind of a double jump fly to it. Duck. Nope, not low enough. Ah, I'm already losing so much health. Whatever, this vehicle is not long for this world, that's fine. Ooh, that was close. I was probably just only barely far enough back to dodge that. Is this the final door? The zombies are a little faster this time, and the annoying thing is if they stand on the second little bunker thing, like that means they can get you, so you actually have to get up behind them. Oh goodness, that was close. Even if they're standing on the first one like that, they almost have the angle to get you, so you need to be like exactly here to duck it. No, you don't. That was the final door. Good. Alright, this section's over as well. Now, this little moment in the game is absolutely burned into my mind. When I try to think of cool boss fights that I've played in various video games, it's this that I think of first. The laugh, the way it's the same guy from earlier, but he's just free-falling through the air, as he's like, okay, yeah, we're both dead, but you're dead first! Oops, oh, I almost got hit by that. Okay, so, he only has 2 attacks. One of them's pretty obvious, the plasma balls, you just dodge them. With the brainwave, as long as you're in the air and not in the tank, you're fine. So you need to pay attention to the timing, jump, and go for it. You can take advantage of the tank by being invincible as he does various attacks. Like, I'll jump in and I'm invincible for a second. I'll jump out, I'm invincible for a second. But the timing is a little tricky. If you jump into a plasma ball, you're going to really regret it. Ah, damn it, I jumped way too early. And if you do it, like, at the wrong time, then the tank will take damage, and the tank's only allowed to take 2 hits before it becomes inoperable. So it's kind of the emergency button for if he's doing both attacks at once. Like, that was a decent time to do it. I jumped to avoid the brainwave, and then I managed to get into the tank to make myself invincible for the plasma balls. Wow, the plasma ball attack just isn't really cutting it today, is it? He can do anywhere between 2 and about 15, but he's really choosing a lot of 2s today. Oh my god, please, you're embarrassing yourself. This boss fight is hard. Oh, especially if you mess up the jump timing like that. I almost got hit again. Ah, that's more like it. But they all went on the left, so I just had to go right to dodge them. Wow, that was more than 15. Yeah, see? He can do all sorts of plasma ball attacks. Whoop! Oh, I dodged the red one! I went really far left with my jump, but then kind of curled back into the tank. That was pretty clever. Oh, and I managed to dodge that too. Oh, I'm okay at this video game sometimes. This is going to be a hard dodge here. Okay, we're fine. Whoop. The reason one of the plasma balls is red is because if you shoot that plasma ball in particular, it will give you an item. It's really difficult to do that though, especially if you don't want to die while doing it. Whoop, straight out. Yep. Didn't want the tank to take damage there. And out. Ooh, Oh my goodness. Okay, that was lucky. I don't know why that green plasma ball didn't kill me. My invincibility should have been over by then. Jump immediately. Okay. Do the dance for the knife damage. Jump about now. Onto the right. Okay. Alright, one early death, but he's getting pretty close, I think. Ooh, that one on the right almost tricked me. I had to go a little bit to the left to dodge it. As is customary for a Metal Slug final boss, they all have 1 trillion hit points. If you don't know the knife trick, it takes forever, because you don't get a lot of special weapons unless you're actually good at shooting the red plasma ball too early. Oh, I managed to do a second one. Whoa, Nelly! Ah, I almost managed to curl right far enough. That was close. 10 grenades, that'll kill him. Yep. I know this guy like the back of my hand. Anyway, as you might have been able to tell from all the talking I did about that guy was the real final boss.
Mission complete.
And that's it. That's Metal Slug 3. What a video game.
Mission all over.
It took me 5 coins. The first one doesn't count as a continue, it counts as a start. So it says 4 instead of 5. It's kind of a cute ending scene as well. Of like the bad guys just looking triumphant, like, yeah, we did it! You guys caused this! Shut the fuck up! And Marco just looking contemplative on the Metal Slug, just, what was this thing that I just did? Like, did I shoot the right bad guys today? Theo, what do you think? Anyway, the credits take a while. I normally fast forward through them, so let's see, what is there to talk about as I debrief the video here? Run and gun games are real fun. Like, bullet hell games are some of my favorite things too, obviously. I'm pretty sure I've gone over that a couple of times now in my other playthroughs. But when you introduce the idea of gravity, it like... Some of the jumps that I had to do on the final boss where I'm like, okay, I need to jump that way, but then I need to curl around to get back onto this bit. It leads to all sorts of fun movement patterns that you really don't get in a game where you can just precisely move wherever the heck you want in 2 dimensions. The Mega Man games are also some of my favorite games, and maybe I'll show off a Mega Man fan game before I give up on the channel and let it rot for 5 years again. Although Mega Man fan... Actually, no, there are a couple of really good ones that I could probably show off in just a few hours. Nothing that would be too long and grueling. Metal Slug 3, though, is great, because if you want to play a game of Metal Slug 3, it takes 50 minutes. Obviously, a lot of games these days try to be like long 50-hour experiences, where it's like, oh, you're only supposed to play through them once. And games that you're only supposed to play through once are also fine, but if you want a game that I'll really love and cherish forever, just give me something that's 50 minutes long and ends with the coolest thing in the world. And that way I can just keep playing it over and over. It also helps that Metal Slug 3 is an absolutely beautiful game. The other run-and-gun game that I really like, Mega Man, it looks pretty good too, but in a different way. It's not like the most beautiful pixel art I've ever goddamn seen like Metal Slug 3 is. Or all the other Metal Slug games as well. The early Metal Slug games, they're all pretty good. But this one's the best in my opinion. Alright, I was like, am I going to use my real initials? Am I going to try to type out Runespism? Oh, apparently I already have like a spelling of Runespism at the top there. I believe that top score is from my actual 1 credit clear of this game. I've only ever done 1 of them. It's a real hard... it's real hard! My average is more like 2 or 3 coins, so this was maybe a little bit embarrassing, but when you're doing a run on the fly with no resets, you tend to do a little bit worse. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank goodness I managed to get something done under the deadline. See you all next time for, something else, who knows. Bye.